double kicks. We're going to do a lesson on double kicks. So what does that mean? That is kicking without putting my foot down. It can be double, it could be a triple, it could be a quadruple. Depends on how good your balance is and how kind of the rules of the fight a little bit. Generally, double is somewhat safe as any kick. However, once you do like 2 or 3, if you're in a rule set or a actual fight, self-defense situation, that's not necessarily something you want to do if they can grab your leg. So what we use a double kick for is generally as setups. So if I want to, an example would be the double roundhouse kick, which we have in our 4th form. So I'm facing somebody, I'm in some sort of fighting stance one way or the other. They are in the same way. Something I can do is if I throw a kick, say like low body, or if they just have a habit of reaching and they're trying to block with their hands on like a thigh kick, okay, I can take advantage of that. So if I throw a roundhouse kick and my opponent tries to defend by dropping that hand to block, especially on this side of the body, then they've just created this opening to the head. And I need to get there fairly quickly, helps, okay? So if I was going to take advantage of that, I'd throw that lower roundhouse kick and then I would throw it up. So it would be 1, 2. And I would throw as quick as I need to, right? I could kick and pause if I need to, wait for the opening and throw the other kick. Sometimes I will do that. Just depends on the circumstance. But most of the time you're going to throw them kind of quickly, give them as much time to react as they need without giving them enough time to recover. So if they block and bring your hand right back up, and I haven't landed that second kick, then I'm not going to. Now I could triple. I could go low. They drop the hand, but I'm not quick enough. They bring it back up. They are deflecting. I could throw that down instead. So there would be an instance where I might hesitate, where I throw low, they drop their hand, I start to throw high, but their hand comes back up, and then I could just go low again. So I could fake like I'm going to kick high. So I'd be here, throw the kick, so kick, lift the leg, then drop it again and throw. Now, the downside is there's not a lot of power on secondary kicks. So it depends on how I'm using it, but generally it's not going to hit that hard, which is why it's better to hit the head, because you're going to need less power to do damage to the head than you would kicking to the body or to the leg. So, because if I can move the head, it doesn't take as much force. So a lot of times I will go ahead and throw low and then high. Not so often will I throw high and then low, although I will fake high and then low. So I might start to kick like I'm going to kick the head, or I'll lift my knee high, and then when they bring their hands up, boom, I'll throw a kick underneath it. So that's more of a fake rather than an actual double kick, where I bring the leg up and then kick lower than I actually appear to be throwing it. So in the form again, we do double. I aim for like the leg to the knee, essentially, and then to the head. You can go to the middle and to the head. It depends. So one of the ideas is if I kick the knee and the knee actually buckles, which it may do on somebody who really doesn't know how to take a kick. If I catch the knee, they're like here, and I catch that and they drop without actually dropping to the ground. So usually if you hit the thigh, you might kick their legs out from underneath them. But like if I kick downward to the knee, a lot of times you're going to get more of a buckling motion, which when that happens, even if my guard's up and you hit my knee, if my body buckles, then I've created that opening again. So I could do low and then come up over the top high. So, and that could be even with the bounce, if I kick through the knee and then come back to the head. It really depends on the circumstance. You kind of have to play around and see what works for the person you're fighting, because some people will react differently than others. So that would be a double kick, but you can also do triples. You can do quadruples. If you look at like Bill Superfoot Wallace, he was famous for fighting with one foot. Now that's like point kickboxing, karate. I forget what he actually rule said it was. Point karate, I think. I think he did kickboxing too. So, but those are kicks Well, your foot is basically kind of acting as a jab. You're using your foot to throw high, to set them up, so you can throw, a lot of times you throw like a roundhouse kick and a hook kick. He would throw roundhouse kick, hook kick, side kick in various orders to create those openings. And he had really good balance, and he had powerful legs, so even kicking on one foot, he's able to hit you fairly hard. The only downside is, in any rule set where you can grab the leg, that doesn't really work. So it becomes more of a sport use than an actual like combative use. Although actual fighting, throwing like a hard low kick and following up with a hard high kick can be effective under the right circumstances. So that's double kicks and I guess triples and quadruples, so you can kind of play with them. And again, they don't have to be the same kick over and over, which I kind of mentioned with Phil Wallace, right? I can throw a roundhouse kick and then fake and come around and throw a hook kick instead. I could throw a roundhouse kick and then switch it to a side kick, a roundhouse kick, or switch it to even a front snap kick, although that one doesn't reach quite as far as the others. A lot of times I would fake with a snap and then a roundhouse kick, so that if they block here, we get the same thing. If I throw down here and they block here, the head's open. So I'll throw a snap kick here, and then I kind of hop and kick. We'll discuss hopping kicks in a different video. So subscribe, like the video. If you have any questions or anything you want to see, put it in the comments, and I'll try to get to it.